What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. If you like Substance, go ahead and like, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that follow button. Let's get into this. Today, I want to speak about this whole Charlie Kirk situation, the whole assassination, and I want to speak on many people's reaction to what took place last week. Now, I want to say this. A lot of people were exposed over the past week or so. A lot of people were exposed. And what I want us to focus on as we talk about that, or as we talk about this, is the fact that this is not about right or wrong. This is not about agree or disagree. This is not about right versus left. This is not about Republican versus Democrat. This is not about liberal versus conservative. That is not what this is about. This is about life or death, right? This is about life or death. Now, many people, especially those who consider themselves men and women of God, right? Even pastors, even ministers, right? Different people. After this man was assassinated, they came out and they found different ways to justify why it was okay for this to happen to him, right? Many people came out and tried to justify it, right? And the problem is, if you are a man or a woman, right, and you claim to follow God, or you claim to be a part of the body of Christ, and you think it's okay to justify an innocent man, because he's innocent, he hadn't killed nobody, right? You found a way to justify this man being assassinated. Now, I want you to key in on that. Assassinated. So it wasn't like he got caught in a dark alley and some guys beat him up. It ain't like some guys ran in his house and got him. No. This guy was on a college campus speaking to college students. And there were some people there, I'm sure, that weren't in college. And, he was before his wife and kids, friends, in the public eye. And he was assassinated by a man who had a military weapon about 200 yards away on a rooftop, right? He was assassinated. Now, you say, well, he wasn't assassinated by, a black man. Why does it matter? It was his own kind or whatever the case is. That's not the point here. The point is there are many people who justified, right? So in that sense, they stood behind this killer and said, yeah, we don't agree that he said this. We don't agree that he said that. We heard he said this. We heard he said that. Yeah, that's what he get. Really? So you're saying that it's okay for someone to be assassinated if they say something that you don't agree with. Now, let that marinate. Now, just about all of us have stances and viewpoints, and we say different things that other people don't agree with. How we feel if we were killed for expressing those things, right? How we feel? We feel like that was cool, it's okay. What if somebody you knew, somebody you close to, right, got killed because they had a quote unquote unpopular opinion, let's just say. If they got killed for that, you'd be saying, and you saw other people saying, yeah, that's what they get. How would you feel, right? Come on, guys. We got to do better than that. If you are spewing this out there, justifying a man getting assassinated, an innocent man getting assassinated, and you claim to follow God or you know God, let me tell you something. You don't know God. You don't know God. There are many people who I disagree with. There are many politicians I don't agree with, things they've done in the past, so on and so forth. I would not want to see them get slapped in public, let alone shot. I wouldn't want to see them get slapped because as a man of God with a pure heart, I don't want to see that happen to nobody, right? I don't want to see that happen to nobody. So we got to be careful when we're out here trying to justify these things because remember, it's life or death we're talking about here. We're not talking about do we agree or disagree with what he was saying. It's life or death, as it speaks about in Revelations in the Bible, right? good will be bad, bad will be good. And it's speaking to the future. And I think that's where we are now, where you have people celebrating because a man who is a husband, a man who is a father, a man who pushes the gospel, right, whether you agree with it or not, is assassinated by a stranger. And you got people celebrating it. And you got people who would deem themselves as good people celebrating it. There's a lot of people who would deem themselves as good people celebrating an assassination, right? So not a death. He wasn't a sudden death or he had a heart attack. No, an assassination while giving a speech. Could you imagine if, you were a leader of some sort, a CEO, a businessman, a businesswoman, any type of speaker, right? You're a speaker and you're up there speaking and somebody wipes you out. They shoot you, right? They shoot you because they don't agree with something you've said. Huh? Could you imagine that? Would you think that'd be right if other people was behind that other person saying, yeah, I didn't agree that she said this, or I didn't agree that he said that? How would you feel? It ain't right. It ain't of God. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to do better out here. Whether you agree with the man or not, it is not of God to celebrate or justify a man or a woman's assassination. This isn't someone who's in the streets shooting and living a gangster lifestyle and doing all that, and it kind of come with the territory. That ain't what this is. This brother, his whole slogan was "Prove me wrong." So he allowed for people to step up to the mic and challenge his viewpoints. That's what it was. It's just prove me wrong. Just healthy debate. That's who he was. And the thing is, most people don't even know who he was. And they're coming out saying stuff. Don't even know the guy. Didn't even play a factor in their life. But they got all this negative to say about it. We got to be careful, guys. We got to be careful. God knows your heart. Many people have a heart issue. That's what it is. Many people have a heart issue. If you want to see a man or a woman get assassinated, you're good with that. You have a heart issue. And God knows your heart. And I would just say, be careful. Be careful if you're walking around with a heart like that. Be careful, because remember, you have family, you have friends, you have children. If your heart looks like that, I would advise you to be careful, because God can see you. I would say be careful. And if you put something out there, a post or a video, whatever, speaking negatively, I'm not saying I don't like you. I still love you. I love all my people. I love all my followers, all my friends on there, all my subscribers. I love you all. Yep. I'm just doing the Lord's work. I'm going to leave you with that. I love you all. Be blessed.